Let's talk cane pruning. What's good, everybody? This is Daniel with April, Texas. Wanted to give you guys a little longer format video so we can talk through some of the cane pruning that we're doing here in the pick pole, specifically at Kibachik, as well as touch on some of the other stuff that we're doing. So let's take a peek. This block, this pick pole, was originally cordon, but we've had some struggles with it. Pick pole block is not cold hardy, and we're trying to solve around that and figure out what we can do. So what you can see is we have cut back some of the cordon arm where we have good shoots that we can start to lay down and start that cane pruning process. This is going to be a little bit of a two-step process because some vines are better suited than others depending upon the positions that they give us. But we need to try and find renewal spurs down here at the base. That's the big thing with cane pruning, and you're going to come out with fresh wood every single year. So you're going to be pulling from the head around here, new cane, lay that down. Next year, chop it back, pick one of the good ones, lay that down. So this is one that's kind of half. We got rid of a good chunk of the cordon and cut that back, but not all of it. So let's look at one where it worked a little bit better. This is one that's pretty darn close. You can see we have a renewal spur here at the bottom and renewal spur here, and then we've got a renewal spur on these other sides. We've left more renewal spurs than we possibly might need because, again, this is not a cold hardy variety. In standard methods, you might leave 2-3 renewal spurs in California, maybe even just one, but this is the block where we have a lot of questions, and we're doing this for a very, very specific reason, to try and remove a lot of the cordon wood. And if it's not cold hardy, maybe our spurs fail, whereas like renewal spurs on the West Coast, you don't have to worry about that. But you can see here, these are canes that are laid out, right? So you'll come out with fresh wood every single season. The difficulty on this sometimes is this is 5-foot spacing, so it may be a little bit difficult to fill all 2.5 feet. Although with this vine, we've done pretty well. And in general for this trial, we did pretty well. Now, let's go look at a vine that we haven't pruned yet, and it isn't in the trial. This is an existing vine that has not been pruned yet. What we're looking for when we select is how much of the cordon can we cut back. But you can see, this is really spindly looking, but we have some really long shoots. So, the longest ones, healthiest ones that have nice caliper, nice diameter, those are the ones that we're examining. So that shoot right there looks pretty dang good. So what this would happen is we cut back to here and then take this one and lay that down. It's only half a cane this season and we still have some cordon wood, but that's okay. Eventually we'll start to work our way back to where we just have the primary trunk. If you look at this side, let's see here. Kind of same scenario. You've got some really good stuff here on the end, but this is a little iffy here in the center. So this one's actually pretty difficult. One option would be to cut back all the way to here and try and use this one, although it's not going to lay down and fill quite as much as we would want. So we may do something temporary. We might try and take this one over, or we might try and take that other one over and still leave a good segment of the cordon. What we're trying to accomplish is still to have some decent fruit off of this year and kind of try and make this change in steps so the block stays in production, and it's not like we're just coming in and hacking all this out and then converting it all totally. So it's kind of a two-step process. See if we can have the best of both worlds in some of these conversions. Now, let's look at the actual tying process now that I've kind of explained how that pruning process goes. This is one of the canes that we need to tie down. You can see over here is the end on my left-hand side. On my right-hand side, we've got that cut back onto the cordon and trying to bring up a renewal spur. When we go about and do this, when you tie it, you're actually going to want to wrap this. Now in a cordon scenario, you might not want to do that because it might girdle later, but we're actually going to wrap and twist this. I think this may have been one of the reasons that people thought, oh, hey, that's the Newsom twist. Well, the Newsom twist is a little bit like this. It's kind of a hybrid system, but that's more of an arch. So he's got 2 wires, one up here, one down here, and he's basically making arches with all of that, or actually kind of, I guess, zigzags, basically like a wave. Whereas this is taking it and laying it directly down to the wire, just like that. Let's take another viewpoint of it, and you can see what that looks like, right? So when we go to wrap, that's really what you want to do because that helps it be rigid. So you got your chute that goes all the way down here to the base, and then you'll start the wrapping process and go, okay, cool, we're going to wrap this over. Now we're going to come back and tie it. You can do cane tying a number of different ways. You can use the little alambritos, which are like little lunch ties. We prefer to use the Pruning tie guns. You'll come in and go 1, go. That's simple. That's how fast the tying is on all that. If you have a little jam, just keep rolling. There we go. There's the fourth one. Now we're on to the next vine. So that's a quick little video with still some detail. Discusses cane pruning, how we go about it, how we're doing this through all our trials. If you guys have any questions out there, please let us know. This is something we work with over 75 varieties. I promise you, cane pruning is going to be here, and it's going to work in some varieties better than others, and that's what we're processing through with our winemaking partners to understand, hey, does this do us any favors on the wine side? Is it better? Is it worse? Do we want to convert? Do we not? We're doing that across a number of different varieties and a number of different ranches, but Kibachik is where we started that process. We're going to keep moving forward with it. We'll see you guys around. Y'all take it easy. Heat the vine.